And now Mr. Castellanos, sorry about that, and Brittany Brooks. State your full name and date of birth for me, please, sir.
Ignacio Rafael Castillo.
Okay, Mr. Castellanos, you are here on a Superior Court arrest warrant. They are alleging 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, that's a Class 4 felony, 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony, and 1 count of obstruction or refusing to provide your true name, a Class 2 misdemeanor. You are going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. Your next court date will be a status conference on... Why does he have an out-of-custody date? When I gave him a bond.
They just picked me up from DOC, Department of Corrections,
okay.
this morning.
Let me ask you a question. Are you on parole or are you finished with your parole?
I'm finishing on Friday.
Okay.
So I was supposed to get released and they're going to come get me.
Okay. So Friday the 24th?
23rd.
23rd will be your last day.
That's because you have it as an unsecured offense. That's what's making the hearing dates out of custody.
Even if it's unsecured, it's still a bond.
It's unsecured, it's,
I didn't...
yeah, it's listed as unsecured.
Hold on just a minute. Now I need to make a change because that was not what I meant to do.
On the 23rd, I should be off everything.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. So, your court date is going to be on the 26th. Because of the fact that you're still in DOC custody, I'm going to leave the $25,000 bond that they have set. When you go to court, which will be on Monday, make sure you let that judge know that you are, your DOC date was done on Friday, and they should be able to change that bond. I don't want to give you a lower bond because if I did, they'd return you back to DOC. You'd missed your court date and everything would happen, okay? So you'll have your next court date. That is on Monday, right?
It's not yet reflected in the secured offense.
Okay, just a minute.
I was wondering why they didn't come get me anytime sooner. That way, it could have just run everything together.
So they can't run everything together since you've already finished your DOC time pretty much. Okay. All right, sorry about that. So, what I was saying is don't post this bond. You'll have a hearing on Monday, the 26th. At that time, notify that judge at the status conference that your DOC time has run and they may very well release you OR. But
okay. That's
just to keep you here and so that you at least get credit for the time that you're in custody, okay?
All right.
Yeah. Any questions, sir?
That's it.
All right. And do you have parole time afterwards, or did you completely kill your number?
Everything's over.
Okay. All right, then. Make sure you let them know on Monday, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir. Ms. Brooks? Please state your full name and date of birth for me.
Brittany Amber Brooks.
Okay, Ms. Brooks, you're here on 5 separate matters. You have an out-of-county warrant out of Pinal County. They are alleging 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. That's a Class 6 felony. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. That will be at your next court date, which is going to be in Pinal County. Your court date is August 23rd at 8:30 a.m., which it looks like that's Friday. You have a bond in that case in the amount of $1,500. If you post, you need to make sure you make it to Pinal County Superior Court, otherwise they will take you there. You also have a couple of probation violations here, and in both of your probation violations, they are alleging Term 1 violations. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you in both of your probation violation matters. You'll have a probation revocation arraignment hearing on August 27th at 8:30 a.m. In both of your probation matters, that will be a $50 bond, which is a total of $100. Then you have a Justice Court warrant out of the University Lakes Justice Court where you were exceeding 85 miles an hour. It looks like that's a post-adjudication. You are not entitled to an attorney based on the nature of the charge. Based on the nature of the charge, I am releasing you OR. Your next court date in that matter is September 3rd at 1:30 p.m. at the University Justice Lakes Court, or University Lakes Justice Court. You need to make sure you make that court date. Additionally, you have a Justice Court warrant out of the West Mesa Justice Court for driving on a suspended license, which is a misdemeanor. Again, you're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer based on that charge. You're being released again in that matter on your own recognizance. That court date is September 3rd at 8:30 as well. That's in the West Mesa Justice Court. You need to make sure you make those court dates. Sadly for you, those two court dates conflict, but you need to contact the court dates and get something done with that. If you are able to post on the others, you are not allowed to possess a weapon, drugs without a valid prescription, or alcohol. You also, being on probation, must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. I see you basically on the nod. I sure hope you are understanding what's going on. Yeah. Officer, let me ask a question. Since she has the Pinal County on Friday, but she has Superior Court here on Monday, do they keep her here or do they transport her and bring her back?
So keep her here.
Okay. So despite the fact that I told you you have a court date in Pinal County on August 23rd, they probably will not transport you. More than likely, Pinal County will then issue another warrant for you, which you'll be heard on just before you leave out of this court again anyway. But I'm just giving you that heads up. Any questions, ma'am?
No, thank you.
All right. Good luck, ma'am. Have a good day. Ms. Blanco? Alejandro Lopez?
Marco. Get that for me.
Lopez? State your full name, date of birth for me, please, ma'am.
Maria Blanco.
Okay, Ms. Blanco, you are here on two Superior Court bench warrants. The first one is alleging one count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. You already have an attorney in this case, although he has filed a motion to withdraw, but for right now, you're still his. You'll have your next court date. It's on August 26th at 8:30 a.m. That's your status conference. You'll have a preliminary hearing on August 29th at 8:30 a.m. And in both of these matters, you have a $500 bond for a total of $1,000. If you're able to post those bonds, you need to make sure you make your next court date. You are not allowed to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or any alcohol. In the second matter, you are also charged with one count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. That's a Class 6 felony. Any questions, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Good luck and have a good day.
I can't go home.
Not unless you post that $1,000 in bonds. You went home before and you didn't show up to court, so you need to post the
I promise
bonds.
I'll show up.
Excuse me?
I promise I'll show up.
Not going to happen. Have a good day.
William now.
Ms. Lopez? Excuse me, Mr. Lopez? Clayton Garneau?
Okay, this phone's available for you. Okay, let's talk to you. Still court. You got that podium, son.
Hello.
Hi, state your full name and date of birth for me, please. Okay. You are here on a new Superior Court case out of the Maryvale Justice Court. They are alleging, let me start over. You are here on a new Superior Court case. They are alleging one count of criminal trespass in the first degree. That's a Class 6 felony. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. You'll have your next court date. That's a status conference on September 4th at 8:30 a.m. You'll have a preliminary hearing on September 6th at 8:30 a.m. Sir, you're being released to pretrial services, okay? They are going to let you know exactly what they need to do, how often you need to contact them so you can be successful. You are not allowed to go back to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact. I think there were about 3 other people there. You're not allowed to have contact with the other defendants, okay?
So, will I have my ankle monitor off for the next 2 court dates or the next?
Do you already have an ankle monitor?
No.
Okay, no, I'm not giving you an ankle monitor. I'm just saying you have pretrial services.
Okay.
So they'll tell you you have to call them a certain number of times or whatever. But no, you're not, I'm not putting an electronic
Okay.
monitor on you. Okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good day, sir.
You too.
Mr. Garneau, Jorge Ayala Marisco. Hello, state your full name and date of birth for me, please.
Clayton Daniel Garneau.
Okay, Mr. Garneau, you are here on a justice court warrant. It is out of the Desert Ridge Justice Court.
Yeah.
It is for driving with a suspended license, which is a misdemeanor. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you at your next court date, which will be on August 23rd at 8:30 a.m. at the Desert Ridge Justice Court. Sir, you have a $100 bond. If you post that bond, make sure you make it to court, okay?
Okay, so what's the bond? So if I post $100, I could leave today?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and you know why you have a $100 bond?
What was that?
Because you missed the last 2 times they
Oh,
released
yeah, I
you that
understand
one.
that. I understand that.
At some point, we got to make sure that you go.
100%,
All right?
yeah.
Okay. Good luck, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Ayala Mariscal, and then McKenna Hawkins. State your full name and date of birth for me, please, sir.
Jorge Ayala Mariscal.
Okay, and your date of birth? Okay, Mr. Mariscal, you are here on 2 separate matters, and it looks like they are both grand jury warrants. In the first one, they are alleging 4 counts of organized retail theft. Those are Class 4 felonies. You are going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. You'll have your next court date, which will be a not guilty arraignment on August 27th at 8:30 a.m. And in that matter, they set your bond in the amount of $10,000. In your second case, they are alleging 7 counts of shoplifting, removal of goods. Those are Class 4 felonies as well. Same things, defense attorney to represent you, court dates on August 27th, and in this one, your bond was set at $7,500 for a total of $17,500. If you're able to post, you are not allowed to return to the scene of the alleged crimes or have contact with the victims, and you are not allowed to possess any weapons. Any questions, sir?
No.
All right, good luck, sir. Ms. Hawkins, Thomas Ortiz. State your full name and date of birth for me, please, ma'am.
McKenna Hawkins.
Okay, Ms. Hawkins, you're here on a new Superior Court case. They are alleging 1 count of criminal trespass in the first degree, which is a Class 6 felony. You are going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. Your next court date will be September 4th at 8:30 a.m. That's a status conference. You'll have a preliminary hearing on September 6th at 8:30 a.m., and I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. You are not allowed to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with the victims. You also are not allowed to have contact with the other co-defendants that were in the house as well, okay?
Yes.
Any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, good luck.
Yes. Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Ortiz, Adrian Romero. State your full name and date of birth for me, please,
Thomas
sir.
Ortiz, 4.
Okay, Mr. Ortiz, you are here on 3 separate matters. You have a new Superior Court case, and then you also have 2 probation violations. All right. Let's talk about your probation violations first. They are alleging a Term 1 violation for committing a new offense. In both of your probation violations, you are going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. Your next court date in those matters will be a probation revocation arraignment hearing on August 27th at 8:30 a.m. In both of the probation matters, you're having a $250 bond. Due to the fact that you have that, I'm doing a little bit different with you than the co-defendants. You are charged in your new Superior Court case with criminal trespass, which is in the first degree, which is a Class 6 felony. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. Your next court date is going to be a status conference on August 26th at 8:30 a.m. You'll have a preliminary hearing on August 29th at 8:30 a.m. Sir, due to the fact that you already are going to be in custody on the other charges, I'm setting a $50 bond in this case. That way you'll get credit for your time while you're in custody. So you have a total of $550 in bond. If you're able to post that, make sure that you make all your court dates and make sure that you contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Any questions, sir?
No.
All right, good luck, sir. Mr. Romero, Rodney Crossland.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. State your full name and date of birth for me, please, sir.
Sorry. Adrian Romero?
Okay. Mr. Romero, you are here on a new Superior Court case. They are alleging one count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. You'll have your next court date on September 4th at 8:30 a.m. That's a status conference. You'll have a preliminary hearing on September 6th at 8:30. Sir, I'm releasing you to pretrial services. You need to make sure that you contact them. I think you have to contact them by tomorrow. Make sure you contact them and follow everything that they say to do, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And make sure you make your court dates.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Crossland, and then Floyd Jones. State your full name and date of birth for me, please, sir.
Rodney Crossland.
Date of birth?
8.
Okay, Mr. Crossland, you are here on 4 separate matters.
4.
Okay. You have 2 probation violations where they actually did not tell me what the terms were that were violated. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you in both of your probation matters. In the first one where you're on probation for the Class 3 felony, you're going to have a court date on August 27th at 8:30 a.m., and you have a bond in that case in the amount of $5,000. In your second probation violation, where you are on probation for a Class 4 felony, again, the same court dates, and you have a $1,000 bond in that case. You also have a new Superior Court case where they are alleging one count of possession of dangerous drugs. That's a Class 4 felony. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you in that matter. You'll have a status conference on August 26th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing on August 29th at 8:30 a.m. In that matter, you have a $50 bond due to the fact that I want to make sure you get credit for the time that you're in custody since you're already here. And your last matter is a Superior Court bench warrant alleging one count of shoplifting. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. You're going to have your next court date on August 27th at 9 o'clock a.m. That's not out of the Justice Court, is it?
No, that's
They had that set for Monday, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'm affirming the bond that they set in that case in the amount of $500 since you're already going to be in custody anyway, okay? So that's a total of $6,550.
Can I be released from pretrial?
No, sir. You're on probation, so you can't be released to pretrial services.
Gotcha.
If you're able to post your bond,
No, ma'am.
make sure you contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
I'm in bad shape. I was looking out for my medical, my physical health, and it's not too good up in here. I know how the treatment that I get to my doctors is a whole lot different from what I get in here, and that's what I'm looking at right there. I'm down time, but I'm got older now, and it's not good for me right now.
Okay. I understand, sir, but these are some very serious charges that you're in here on, which is why you have the higher bonds. So I'm going to have to post those bonds or set those bonds, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck, sir. Mr. Jones? Benjamin Insminger? Morning, or evening, actually. State your full name and date of birth for me, please.
Floyd Jones,
Okay. Mr. Jones, you're here on a new Superior Court case where they are alleging one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. That's a Class 3 felony. Based on the information that you provided to pretrial services, they determined that you are not indigent. That means that you...
I'm sorry that I'm not what?
That you're not indigent. That
What does
means
that
that you... I'm getting ready to tell you.
Oh, okay.
That means that you will need to hire your own attorney. They're basically saying that you have enough money to be able to afford an attorney based on your job. If you believe that is incorrect, when you go to your next court date, make sure that you provide them some information so that they can appoint one for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, these are serious charges. However, when I looked at it and I looked at the Form 4 and the facts of it, I believe that it is appropriate to release you to pretrial services. But I'm going to release you with electronic monitoring, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Judge, it was self-defense, but...
I understand. And so you make sure you talk to your attorney about that, okay?
Okay.
But I'm releasing you pretrial services with electronic monitoring. They're going to put that on before you leave the jail, and then they're going to tell you what. I put down no curfew restrictions because you're working, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I work a graveyard shift.
Okay, so I didn't want to interfere with your job, so.
Thank you.
I'm not putting any curfew restrictions, but they will let you know when and where you can go and that kind of stuff, okay? Your next court date is going to be a status conference on September 4th at 8:30 a.m. You'll have a preliminary hearing on September 6th at 8:30 a.m. Now, here's where you and I may have a problem. Your alleged victim in this case appears to be your roommate.
But
I don't know.
He was moving. He was moving.
Okay. I don't know, because I don't have his case.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
so I can't tell him what to do. So I'm going to tell you for right now.
Yes, ma'am.
You may not reside at that location, at least until your next court date, so that we know that both of you are not in the same apartment, okay? He'll probably get that same notice as well, but plain and simply, we do not want there to be a re-escalation where more problems come. So for right now, just find someplace else to live, at least until your next court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then if he has moved out, make sure you let the other judge know, and then they can change that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Good luck, sir.
All right, so I'm going home tonight.
I don't know if they can put the monitor on by tonight or if that's going to be tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Because you have to have the monitor on first, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck, sir. Mr. Insminger,
All right, that's fine.
and then Allison Hodge.
That's right here.
State your full name and date of birth for me, please, ma'am.
Allison Hodge.
Okay. Thank you. I forgot. You're here on a new Superior Court case where they are alleging one count of criminal trespass in the first degree, a Class 6 felony. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. Your next court date is going to be on September 4th at 8:30 a.m. You'll have a preliminary hearing on September 6th at 8:30 a.m. And I'm releasing you on your own recognizance, ma'am. You need to make sure you make your next court date, and you are not allowed to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with the victims in this case, okay? All right. Good luck, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Insminger, and then Anisha Ackles or Cleese. Take your arms out of your shirt, please. Thank you. State your full name for me, please.
Benjamin Insminger.
Okay, Mr. Insminger, you're here on two separate matters. You have a new Superior Justice Court case where they are alleging one count of theft or control of property. That's a misdemeanor. You have a criminal trespass in the third degree, also a misdemeanor. And you have a possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 1 misdemeanor. You are going to have an attorney appointed to represent you, but that will be at your next court date. Your next court date is going to be at the University Lakes Justice Court on September 3rd at 1:30 p.m. You're being released on your own recognizance in that case. Now, you also have a Superior Court bench warrant where they are alleging 15 counts of organized retail theft. Those are Class 4 felonies, and one count of shoplifting or removal of goods, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Based on the fact that I guess you did not, wait a minute, looks like you did provide it. I'm going to make a change on this one. Based on the information that you provided, you already have an attorney. That's what it is. You already have an attorney in this case, which is, I believe, Miss Inca.
Yeah.
When you fail to appear, they set your bond in the amount of $1,000, which I am affirming. Your next court date is going to be on August 29th at 8:30 a.m. That is a status conference. If you're able to post that bond, you are not allowed to have contact with the alleged victims, and you need to make sure you make your court dates. Any questions, sir?
No.
All right, good luck. Ms. Hodge, and then no, I've already seen Ms. Hodge. Mr. Ackles? Come on through. And then I think, do I have anybody else? Everybody else in the house call, right? Yeah. Okay. State your full name, date of birth for me, please.
Anisha Echoes for.
Okay. You are here on two separate matters. It looks like you have a new matter, which is a criminal trespass in the first degree. That's a Class 6 felony. You're going to have. Why did they do this? Okay. For some reason, and I apologize, I'm changing that one too. You're going to have an attorney appointed to represent you, sir? Or, I'm sorry, sir, ma'am?
I'm a girl.
Okay, ma'am. I apologize, I just didn't want to be offensive, so I figured I'd ask. And I think you're number 2, so you'll have legal defender. Okay. Okay, you are going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. You have a probation violation warrant as well, where they are alleging a Term 1 violation for committing a new offense. In that case, you're also going to have an attorney appointed to represent you. Your probation revocation arraignment hearing is going to be August 27th at 8:30 a.m. Ma'am, in that case, I'm setting your bond at $250. Because of the fact I'm giving you a bond in your probation violation case, I'm going to give you a bond in the new case so that you get credit for the time while you're in custody. That bond is going to be $50. So that's a total of $300. If you're able to post, you need to make sure you make your court dates and that you contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
I haven't even met my probation officer yet. It was supposed to be yesterday. But it was transportation issues.
Okay.
So I don't expect you to understand that, but that's the reason why the situation is how it is.
Okay.
But in custody.
Go ahead. I appreciate that, but they're not saying that you violated anything in terms of not seeing your probation officer. What they're saying is you committed a new crime while you're on probation. That is a Term 1 violation. You had contact with law enforcement. So that's what that is for.
Yeah, I've contacted probation, but I was supposed to meet him yesterday.
Okay.
And it didn't happen.
Okay.
So now it's a violation?
No, that's not why you have a violation. That's what I'm telling you. The violation is because you got arrested.
Trespassing.
Because you got arrested for the trespassing.
Of course.
So when you commit the new offense, that was the violation.
And now I'm going back into custody?
Well, you're going to stay here unless you post the $300 bond. Okay? But your next court date is going to be on the 27th, which is Tuesday. Okay? And in the new case, your court date is going to be on the 26th, which is Monday. Okay? Any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, good luck.